Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me here to talk about my solo debut CD, American Composers at Play. I'm so lucky to have here today to speak about his huge contribution to this CD, Ricky Ian Gordon. Ricky, how are you?
I'm good, Steve, and I'm happy to see you, and I'm happy about the CD. I'm happy
Me
about
too.
our already success.
I know, right? I'm over the moon about being nominated. It's not something I planned on. We do these things because we love them, and gosh, somebody must have liked it. So that's kind of great.
Yeah, I forgot we did it because the whole fall and that whole period of time got so screwed up in my head. So on the day I came in and looked at my computer and said, "Congratulations on your Grammy nomination," I was like, "For what?" So
You're so busy though, and have so many projects going. I'm sure you were like, "Wait a minute, which one?"
well, I thought it might have been the Ellen West CD, but that came out too recently, I think, for the
Right, it's just
nominations.
the deadline. But next
Yeah,
year, next year
next
that'll be
year.
it.
Yeah.
So Ricky, we've known each other for what? 30 years,
Probably, yeah.
25, and we met through your good childhood friend and my voice teacher, Arthur Levy.
Yeah, Arthur and Peter Ansman. That's how
Peter Ransman, who was my
yeah.
first agent when I came to New York. So there's
Yes.
trifecta of human beings in my life that when I came to New York, I met. And it's kind of just the heavens shining down on me that I met all three of you at the same time.
Souvenir was the world premiere of the version with cello and piano. It's like what we talked about, that the first part of the song is somewhat out of rhythm, as if you're emerging out of something, like a memory. It doesn't really fully start rhythm until 7.
It took a lot of time to decide from your catalog of songs which to put on a CD like this.
I just love Andrew's sounding.
Okay, so I'll wait a little longer than I did
Yes.
to come in.
Yes.
Okay. Just a rainy day or two in a windy tower.
Is it a duet, or is the cello more like an accompaniment instrument?
Oh no, it's definitely sort of a conversation.
Marked by greeting passings in a cinder walk. Just a rainy day or two in a windy tower. That was all I had of you, saving half an hour. Marred by greeting passing groups in a cinder walk, near some naked blackberry roots, dim with purple chalk. I remember 3 or 4 things you said in spite, and an ugly coat you wore, plaided black and white. Just a rainy day or two, and a bitter word. Why do I
One thing I learned from your CD too is I really liked adding instruments. The obligato instruments. Now I wish I did it on every song. The Good Death from Rappahannock County. We did that arrangement for you with the violin. Just the minute it comes in, it's like so annoying. It's perfect. And then Father's Song, I was just really excited for you to sing because, right, no one has recorded it. And also, there is something for me about those songs that I write the texts for. And texts neither come easily or frequently. And when they do, they have a resonance for me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, this text is personal, intensely personal as it can be. I
Yeah.
remember when I first heard the song and tried to sing it through with you in your apartment, I couldn't get through it. It took me 4 or 5 times because it's so raw and so intense, especially being a father myself was, I think, so heart-wrenching to read that text and to to know and understand a little bit about what it's like to have regrets such as those, and to have made choices that you wish you could take back and you can't.
I'm in this writing group now, and I'm working on prose. I'm just writing words right now. And I brought the Father Song, the lyric, to my writing group. And at one point, we talked about the idea of some of the images being more specific. And I remembered it was when I first wrote it. For example, there was a lyric, when he says, I didn't mean to be a bully. It was, I didn't mean to be a bully on the boat when the engines made you hide. All I felt was rejection when you cried. And I realized I had made it somewhat more general because I realized when I was working on Sycamore Trees for production that the Father's Song had a universality. And I didn't want it to be so rooted in the specific quotidian details of my family. And I'm really happy with the version you recorded and how you recorded it. I like
I'm
what
starting to tear up just listening to you talk about it.
that song was like a pound of flesh, 6 gallons of blood. But that song has had quite a journey. I mean, that's this song when I was first approached by the Rodgers and Hammerstein company about a publishing contract. I remember being at Mary Rodgers' house and Bill Hammerstein and Jamie Hammerstein and Ted Chapin, and they were all there. And I was playing lots of music for them. And then I played the Father Song, and Ted Chapin just got up and said, do you have agreements anywhere else? Do you have a contract anywhere else? And I said, no, there was something about that song.
Yeah, there's something about that song for sure. And also for the singer, not just to get through it because of the subject matter, but there's a dramatic element vocally that you have to imbue the text with. It's a tour de force, and the tessitura is pretty high, especially for baritone. So I found myself really having to concentrate and focus and give everything I had, and it deserved it, obviously, the song. But it was, from a performer standpoint, I mean, that's an aria. You
It,
know,
it
it,
is
it
an aria. And
if you
I just, when we did it in the show, I mean, Mark Kudish sang in the show and he would just completely collapse and break down after it. And then his first line, of course, after that song is, I missed my children's lives. And the mother, Edie, would say, you did, but you have now.
maybe everyone didn't have the exact same experience, but everyone can relate to the experience in some way, rather as a child or a sibling or a parent.
I mean, and he's essentially, Sidney, the father in that show, is essentially the post-war father that basically came home and committed himself entirely to making a living, and they missed the lives of their children. They missed their own lives. It's so many of those fathers from that generation just woke up at a certain point and said, what did I do? What have I been doing? You know, it's sort of the tragedy of the post-war father.
Well, and it's unimaginable to try to put yourself in their position and what they experienced unless you did it. I remember my father was in the occupying forces in Japan in 1946.
Mm.
He didn't see any action, as it were, but he had good friends who did, especially one that I grew up calling Uncle Mike, who was on the D-Day, stormed the beach at Normandy. And I remember my dad telling me, "Don't ever ask him about that. He won't talk about it, and he doesn't
My
want to."
dad talked about it. What he talked about was how one of the most horrible things about D-Day was how so many men drowned before they even fought
Right.
or got to shore because they had so much on their backs and they let them off too soon. So the water was too deep and they just drowned. So he said you'd see all these floating bodies.
You're the only composer on the CD who has written text for your songs as well. The two that we're hearing today in our discussion are both songs that you wrote the words and music to. How do you differentiate or approach a song when you start to compose when it's your own words as opposed to another poet or author?
Well, in a lot of ways, the same way, because once you've written a text, it's not only complete, but it is as if it didn't come from you. You know what I mean? It's the same feeling of like, wow, where did that come from? And if anything, I feel more pressure to make sure the text has integrity within my setting of it. The lyric has an intensity. It's like you have to create something under it. Like, I feel like what I've created under it is a kind of unsettled anxiousness. You know, it never really settles anywhere. And because of that, you don't get to just sit in the sorrow. It unsettles you.
Some monster whose footsteps on the stairs shuts the hearts in the people who he shares only nights with, where silence only blares. I never meant to be an ogre. I didn't mean to be the darkness. Big bad black cloud who hears the talking stop. Every entrance the temperature drop. Ba-da-da, ba-ba-balloon about to pop. I didn't mean to be the darkness. Do we only duplicate all that we avoid and hate, making people closest feel just as bad as I had felt from the blows my father dealt. Not just a lightning bolt or fire, kicking holes in the door to every room, signifying for all impending doom, blazing loss that never knows. How many things to be sorry for there are behind the wheel of my not expensive car. I take a route which inevitably goes back to the house and strike the